Go into your exercise folder and open up an image that begins with 540. Nice photo spin image, nice model, red head, obviously. What I want to talk about here before we get too serious is what is the best way to color correct an image or restore an image or convert it into grayscale in terms of the depth of the image. Now, if you look right here, see that number 8 right there? Okay, that means this image is an 8-bit image. Let me do something. I'm going to come over and open up channels. Let me go ahead and drag them out here. Channels define colors: red, green, and blue. Now she's got red hair. Notice how light her hair is compared to the green or even the blue. And think of it this way. The darker the shade of gray, and this is math. Computers are nothing but numbers anyway. The lighter the shade of gray or the darker the shade of gray determines how much of the blue ink can be applied. Darker means less, lighter means more. Now on an 8-bit image, each one of these channels has the possibility of generating one of 255 drops of ink to mix with the others. So if we go into, let's go back to layers, and let's go ahead and go into, say, curves. Give us something else to look at. As we move and change things, what we're actually doing is we're deciding how much, at least in luminosity or in color, we're increasing or decreasing this particular photograph. So think of having 3 pots of ink in front of you, and each one has 255 drops of red and of green and of blue, and you have like a bowl, and you're adding drops in combinations to produce a color. So mathematically, with 8 bits at 255, and if you multiply, 0 counts as a value. So you multiply 256 times itself, you get 16.7 million possible colors. But when you think about it, 256, that's not a really stretchable rubber band. So one of the things I would really recommend that you do, because it doesn't hurt the image, it only helps it, is if you're planning on doing some major reconstruction work or color correction work or something where you're going to be working with things like curves and levels, which are very aggressive, before you even start on the image, go up to the word image, go down to mode, and change it to 16-bit. Now, before I do that, let me show you something. Look all the way down here, and this image is 24 megabytes. If I change it to 16-bit, right there, it's going to double the size of the image to 49. But what have I done? Well, instead of having a pot with 255 drops of ink in it, that pot is now divided into something like around 16,000, which gives you billions of colors when you do the math on that one. What that translates into, when we're moving these colors around, you have a bigger rubber band to stretch. And it's not going to fracture the colors and cause divisional problems, especially around areas light and dark, start to look stair-stepped. That won't happen if you do this. Now, some systems can handle a 16-bit image. Most can, but some of them can't. If you're done with that part of the process, you have finished doing that correction work, then go right back up here, march right back up here, and go back here and change it back to 8. It is not going to hurt the image. You want to think in terms of a longer or stretchable rubber band. 16-bit will give you that. It will give you better color correction techniques or even restoration. And you can always take it back. It will not hurt the image one bit. Now, the good news about working with raw images is they typically do come in at 16-bit, so you're already there. But most other images are going to be 8. Change it to 16 when you do the correction work. Change it back when you need to. You will have a better image in the end. That's a promise.